edges because I'm taping. So here's what. Compound interest. First, I need to tell you. Oh no, I'm gonna double. That's so bad. No.
Yeah, I was trying to listen to the videos.
Did it not work?
It worked, but.
Oh yeah, it was a squirrely day yesterday. So squirrely. Okay. So fun. Here's what. Let's talk about what compound interest is. So here's what happens. I'm a bank. You give me your money. I'm going to use it for other stuff, and I got to pay you to give me your money, right? And I appreciate you, and that payment is called interest, right? And if I'm a very safe investment, right, I'm going to give you that interest one time a year, just once a year. And if you don't keep it in for a whole year, you don't get any interest, right? Because I'm a bank, and I want to make certain I'm going to be able to use your money, and I'm going to promise you I'm going to give it back to you. That is called basic interest. You already know this formula. This will not be on the test. I will not do a basic problem on the test, but I'm going to tell you, you do know how to do basic interest, and you know why? Because we've already done it. And if you want to write this down, you have seen this. You're going to be like, Miss T, yeah, that's the basic one. That's the most basic one. That means you're going to get interest once a year. We call that basic annual interest. When we first started doing these problems, that's when Owen's Nana was giving him some money, and it was basic interest because she's a safe person. She's not taking any risks, right? There's another kind of interest that we don't see very often in real life because it's too expensive for the bank. And that is called continuous interest. Continuous interest. The reason you don't see this in real life is it's too expensive. And here's what they do. They say, here's some interest today, this very second. And then the very next second, they give you interest on that interest. And the very next second, they give you interest on that interest on that interest. And the very next second, they keep doing it, right? You also know that formula because it's got that weird word in it, continuous. And the minute you see that weird word, it's this guy, right? Will I do a continuous interest problem? No, because in real life, banks don't give continuous interest. It's too expensive, right? Making that much interest on interest on interest will bankrupt the bank. So normally, it's somewhere in the middle, that they're going to give you interest more than once a year, but not every second of every moment. And what that is called is compounded interest. And here comes the formula for that. Are we ready? I'm going to write the formula down, and then I'm going to explain. You know how we have that T half-life? We have that again. We have a new little letter to talk about. I forgot to put the A on here, and that's right down there. So P is the same as it always is. That is our starting point. In economics, we call that our principal. That's how much we're putting into the bank. That's why it's P. Our A is our ending amount. That's our amount that we end with. I think that's why it's an A end amount. I don't know. Our T is still the time. That's awesome. And our R is still the annual rate, right? Are you making 5%? Are you making 7%? Are you making 2%? What are you making as your rate? But then we got this N. And here's what N is. N is saying how nice the bank is going to be to you. Because maybe they're going to give you your interest, what's called semi-annually. What does semi-annually mean? Anyone got a guess at what that means? Like twice a year. Semi. They're going to give it to you 2 times a year. That's nice. That's better than just once. They're going to give it to you 2 times a year. What if they gave it to you monthly? How often are they giving it to you a year? 12. They're giving it to you 12 times a year. But later, what if they're doing it weekly? How many times a year are they going to give it to you if it's weekly? How many weeks are in a year? You got a guess? Anyone know? 52, right? If they're giving it to you daily, 365. So what this N is, the number of times you get interest a year. And we call that the compounding rate, right? So if they are giving it to you quarterly, that's 4 times a year. If they're giving it to you semi-annually, that end would be 2. They're giving it to you monthly, that end would be 12. And you're like, okay, I know what the letters are. What's the damn formula? Here he is. A equals P. Oh, everything looks the same. Got a little bit of difference coming up. Here's that 1. Here's our only difference, right? And this is why I hate this one. And I actually wrote the formula down because I often get it wrong. R over N, and this is called N times T. You just throw in an extra letter. Is it hard? No. Is that letter a decimal? No. It'll always be like a 4 or a 2 or something like that. These are easy. They work like everything else. It's just another. I just have a hard time remembering that. You guys ready? We're going to do 3. You guys up for this? Here we go. Yoo-hoo! We're very excited. Okay. I know, that was fun. Nana's back. Oh, Nana's back. She's giving out the cheddar, man. She's giving it to you. And she's giving you the cash. She's giving you 20 grand just because you're Owen's friend. And you find a good investment that's paying 7% interest. So here comes the question. How much money do you have if you invest for 3 years, compounded? Here's the trick. Quarterly. Quarterly. How many times a year? 4. What's your N? 4. There you go. Give it a try. Please, 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 please do this little AP thing. A, P, R, T, N. Is N easy? It's 4. It's 3 years. Our rate, no, now it's getting a good rate. 7% is good. 20K. It is literally plug and crank. But I'm going to give you a hint. I start with that little stupid fraction in the parentheses. So I'm going to go like 0.07 divided by 4 plus 1. That's where I start, right?
1.0.
And then do, yes, exactly, Jace. And then do the caret to the 12, is that right?
Yeah.
And then times that mess by 20 grand.
1.2. There you go, I got it.
How much you got, Liam? How much in your Nana account?
24,000.
24?
682. 628. Yeah, 24,628.
Okay. I gotta be honest. For 3 years, making 4 grand for doing nothing, that's a good amount of money, right? I mean, you did nothing. You literally set it in there, and you came back and you made 4 grand. That's pretty good amount of money. Yeah, yay for you, Nana. We appreciate you, Nana. Okay, yeah. So here's your formula. A equals, are you ready? 20,000. 1 plus 0.07 over 4, and then times 3 times 4. Are you cool with that? So start here. Do this very first. Add the 1. You with me? Okay. While Kristen's finishing, try this one. Oh, not that one. This one. Here we go. You put Nana money, 20K, into a safer account. And it's compounded. Let's not make it quarterly. Let's compound it monthly. Heck with that. Man, we want a little bit more cash. We want a little bit more cash. How long till you have 35,000? Here's a hint. for time. That's in the exponent. So you're gonna have to use log, right? If your variable is up top, that's a log one. If your variable's not, it's just regular. Would I get rid of all those zeros? Yeah, I would. I'd go 35 on one side and 20 on the other. You want to do the zeros, you can. Yeah, monthly. We're going to do monthly. 12. Beautiful. Yeah. 12 monthly. How many months in a year? That's it. That's our end.
Is it 12 is the end, or is it?
12 is the end.
Oh.
So it's going to be 0.04 over 12. Does that make sense? Because it's how many times every month they're going to go in and be like, here's more interest. Here's more interest on your interest. Here's more interest on your interest on your interest. Okay. 35K. P. I started with 20K. R. 0.04. T. I don't know. N. Monthly. Here we go. I like that though. They let you do it. $12 T. Does that make sense? Okay, you're going to do it along with me. Here's where I always start. First, I'm going to get rid of that dumb 20, right? I'm going to get rid of that dumb 20. And I saw that my friend Lucas did it. He had 1.75 over here, which is awesome. And then I'm going to do this goo, right? That's where I'm going to start. I don't like it. That's why I don't like these problems. I don't like that decimally fraction thing. That thing's awful. So I'm going to say, here I go, 0.04 divided by 12, and then I'm going to multiply, I'm going to add 1 to that. Did you get like 1.003? Yeah? So, ln, okay, I'm ready to wrap this up. ln 1.75 divided by ln, son of a bitch, I did pi. Well, you know, I did pi. That was worth that was cuss-worthy. I did pi. Divided by 12. Did you get like 16, 15 and a half years?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I got
Liam, what'd you get? Did you get like 15 and a half years? Okay, so do you have it on there?
some more numbers.
So you should still have about 15. What'd you get?
I used 1.00333.
Oh, okay. Let's see if that changes it. So let me try. ln 1.75 divided by ln 1.00333, and then I'm going to multiply that by nothing, and I'm going to divide that by 12. Yeah, that's crazy. So here's what's interesting. My friend Liam did not round like I did. He did a better job, and he used 3, and he got a pretty different answer. And here's why: because he got more interest. So he got the money quicker. So I would take anything from 14 to 16, right? Nicely done. Last problem, and I'm shutting up, and you will like it. Here we go. This is my favorite. You invest the money, and you want it 6% interest, compounded monthly. How long till it triples? Well, here's the deal. Right this minute, Caesar, how much money you got on you? $20. So Caesar, if it's got a triple, how much would that be? 60. Jace, how much money you got on you right this minute?
Like on me? Like,
On your right this minute.
in my wallet or
Sure.
in my digital camera? No, wallet.
In your wallet. Like cash.
Yes.
Another 20. I don't know how much you got on you. Okay. How long will you have to invest till? 27, right? I got a buck on me, and I know I have a buck because I saw it in my backpack. I gotta go till it's $3. Guess what? You could use any of these numbers in this problem because it doesn't matter what you personally are investing. You get to stop when it triples. So you could put in 100 and 300, or you could use 1 and 3. I don't care. I would use 1 and 3 because they're easy, right? So do this problem. You decide how much you want to invest. You got $100, invest $100. You got $1, invest $1. You do you. Invest what you have. Huh?
With the last one, I don't know how you got.
Love this, love this, love this. Oh, LN. Remember how you got it down here?
And then I
Oh, right here.
still
So LN 1.75. Oh, okay, so then here, so this on top.
Where are you getting the 3 and the 12? Oh, monthly.
Yeah. If you want to circle, it's like 300. Hey, Sean, I said you're winning your match at Michigan State. I think.
Times by 12, or divide by 12.
Me too. Yeah, 8 right now.
Sorry. This was in people because he came down. Well, this was nice. Yeah, about 18 years. About 18 years, yeah. That's a while. That's a while. About 18 years. Okay. Bye, people. Oh, you know what? Listen real quick. I'm going to tell you something I want the people at home to hear if they're listening. Your homework has 2 sides. I don't need you to do both sides. Listen, Lucas. The back side is the harder side, but it's what I want you to do. If you are having trouble with the back side, I have easier ones on the front. I stole the front from an Algebra 2 trig teacher. I stole the back from a college pre-calc teacher, right? I'm not saying the back is super hard. It's not, but that's the level I want you to be at. But if you're struggling with this, you can do a few on the front. Do I need you to? I don't. But here's what else I want to tell you. What I also found with this dude who did the back, and I'm going to put this in Google Classroom, he put a great solution key up where he walks you through every problem step by step by step. Like now he's like, write the log of both sides, and he shows it. And now put it in your calculator, and he shows it. Right? And it's not a video. It's just, he just writes it all out. So I will post this in Google Classroom if you're struggling with the back. But if you're walking through the back, you're good to go, right? They're not hard. They're pretty straightforward. But I wanted you to know you have an option if you're a little confused. Tomorrow we put all these together. I am